All right, everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome back to Let's Talk Sports. Your host Ron here, as I go over the segments and highlights of WWE, WNBA, and my Miami Dolphins. All right, let's go ahead on and start switching over lanes because I love it. I'm excited. Got some good information. I have been basically keep trying to watch everything that's been basically good to talk about, but the only two matches caught my eye was Alexa Bliss and the news from Naomi. So let's go ahead and switch the lanes. Let's talk WWE. Alrighty. As you know, Alexa Bliss had a matchup with Piper Niven, and of course, my homegirl Alexa Bliss won it, and Charlotte Flair was on the side to back her partner up. But after Alexa Bliss won the match of Piper Niven, the secret Hervice came and attacked both of them. So basically, what they sending out a message is to both Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss that we're next up for those tag team titles, and they're gonna take it from them strong and forcefully. So is Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss up for the challenge? Because it is exciting to go ahead on and see how these two dynamic duos, the Queen and Alexa Bliss, handle the challenge from Secret Hervice. Now to my homegirl Naomi Miss Caution. And I love Naomi and I love her new style, her new attitude, and her new era in WWE Women's Division. But good news came on, and it hurted me to hear it. It's hurting me that she could not hold on to the title belt a little longer, but she just announced her and her husband, Big Jimbo, yes, Jimmy Uso, yes, y'all know they've been married for so long. Just announced that Naomi, his wonderful beloved queen, is expecting their first child. So yes, Naomi had to go ahead on and relinquish the belt back to WWE Raw and let them know to all them little heifers in the back, she called them, to all them little heifers, that I'll be back in 9 months with her baby strapped onto her booby breastfeeding as she go ahead and put the smack down on them. Yes, Naomi is relinquishing the belt due to her pregnancy and she is expecting their first child, her and Jimmy, and I am in love with that. So, moving right along to WNBA. Top performers of WNBA of week 11 all the way to week 16 to week 17, which was a Sunday. So we're going to go to Monday's game, August 11th, as the Suns versus the Valkyries. The Valkyries defeated the Suns. It was just too much Valkyries as Valkyrie put the spank down on them 74-57. Your top performance of that game was Murrow. Number 24 of Connecticut had 13 points, 14 rebounds, and Hayes, number 15 of Golden State, had 17 points. But it was just too much bench for the Suns as Valkyries walk away with the champion, walk away with the victory, 74-57. August 12th, we have two matchups going on. The Fever played the Wings as the Wings spanked the Fever by 1 point, 81-80. Your top performance of that game was Secrets. Number 20 of Dallas had 22 points, and Mitchell of Indiana had 24 points and 6 rebounds, but it was not enough as the Wings walked away with the victory 81-80. On the matchup with that does Liberty ran all over Sparks 105-97. Messi Men of New York had 24 points and 9 rebounds, and Plum of LA had 26 points, but it was just too much a bench of the New York Liberty as they spanked the Sparks 105-97. Wednesday matchup, August 13th, we had the Sky, our beloved Chicago Sky, versus the Connecticut Suns. It was just too much Suns as they ran all over Sky, 71-62. Your top performers of that game was Cardoso. Number 10 of Chicago had 24 points, 9 rebounds. Lycan had 17 points of Connecticut as the Suns ran all over Chicago. And Chicago record is 8-24. It's just not enough. Some of y'all ragging Reese, but Reese is not the answer to why the team is playing poorly. It is the team itself. Reese cannot lift the team up. It's a team effort. She can't go out there and play by herself. So if the team not putting up, then oh well, it is what it is. And the team is going to fall short every game or come up winning some games and fall in some games, but it is what it is. Valkyries defeated Mystic 88-83. Top performers of that game is Burton of Golden State had 30 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and Irvin had 14 points, 10 rebounds of Washington, but it was just not enough as Valkyries walked away with a 5-point lead, defeating the Mystics 88-83. Aces dominated Liberty 83-77. Top performers of that game, Niven of New York had 24 points, 10 rebounds. Wilson had 17 points, 16 rebounds as the Las Vegas Aces defeated Liberty 83-77. And of course, the one and only Your Atlanta Dream stepped down and put the smack down on the Storms 85-75, beating them by 10 points. The top performers of their game was Howard of Atlanta had 25 points, 7 assists. Mikey had 29 points, 9 rebounds of Seattle, but it was just not enough as the Storm fell short to the Dream 85-75. Moving on to Friday, August 15th, we had some good games going on. The Fever got spanked by the Mystics 88-84. Your top performer was Irvin of Washington, had 18 points, 12 rebounds. Boston of Indianapolis had 20 points and 9 rebounds. And OMG, what is up with the skies as the Valkyries ran all over the sky 90-59. Your top performers of the game was Golden State's Zan Dalcini had 20 points, 4 steals. Cardoso of Chicago had 14 points, but it was just not enough as the Valkyries ran all over the sky 90-59. And this is one thing I said about the Chicago Sky. It's just not one person that can make it happen. It's a team effort. It's 5 players on the court, including the bench. If the bench is not helping the starters out, then oh well, it is what it is. Move right along as a good game as the Sparks spanked the Wings by 1, 97-96. K Plum of LA had 28 points and Buckers of Dallas had 29 points as the Sparks got spanked. No, as the Sparks spanked the Wings 97-96. The Storm ran all over Atlanta Dreams as they spanked them 80-78. Your top performer was Skylar Diggins of Seattle, had 21 points, 11 assists, and Jones of Atlanta had 18 points, 10 rebounds as the Storm edged them by 2 points, 80-78. And another good matchup, the Aces defeated the Mercury 86-83. Your top performers of that game, Wilson of Las Vegas had 30 points, 16 rebounds. Sabali of Phoenix had 26 points. It was a good game, tight game. Only thing that the Aces, I give them credit to, of ball possession. They had the ball longer than they did, and which edged them by 3 points as the Aces walked away with the victory 86-83. Saturday's matchup, you only had one game. That was Liberty against Lennox, but it was too much. Lennox was too strong for the Liberty as the Lennox walked away with the victory 86-80. Your top performers was Jones of New York had 17 points, 6 rebounds. Williams of Minnesota had 26 points as the Lennox beat New York Liberty 86-80. Moving on to Sunday matchup, and it was a whole lot of good games going on. The Fevers topped the Suns 99-93. Top performers of the game, Mitchell had of Indiana had 30 points, 6 assists. Mabry had 27 points as the Fever defeated the Suns 99-93. Mystic spanked the Sparks 95-86. Top performers of that game, Hamby had 26 points, 7 assists. She plays for LA. And Citron of Washington had 24 points as the Washington Mystics ran out over the Sparks. 95-86 is the victory. And Mystics was happy defeating LA. Aces dominated the Wings 106-87. Top performers were Seagrass had of Dallas had 23 points. All right, everybody, I'm back. I had to go ahead on and step out and attend to a phone call. I am back. Top performers of the Aces game because the Aces ran all over the Wings 106-87. M Series had of Dallas had 23.6 rebounds. Wilson of Las Vegas had 34.8 rebounds, 3 blocks, as the Aces dominated the Wings 106-87. Mercury held on by 3 to beat the Storms by 85-82. Beat it by 3 points. They held on. And the only thing I don't understand was basically the first quarter because Mercury outscored them by 3 points in the first quarter, 20-17. That would give them that 3-point edge, and everything else was just down here. As the Mercury held on to defeat the Storm 85-82, your top performers of that game, Thomas of Phoenix had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. Meek of Seattle had 24 points, 8 rebounds. And of course, y'all, Atlanta owned them Dreams, holding it down. And I know Atlanta happy to have a women's basketball team as the Dreams spanked the Valkyries 79-63. Your top performers of that game is Howard of Atlanta had 14.6 assists, and Burton of Golden State had 16 points as they held it down to edge the Valkyries 79-63. Those are all your scores and highlights. I'll be coming with more scores of the WNBA of August 19th all the way to August 24th. So now we're moving on, switching lanes. We are going to talk about Saturday's game as our Miami Dolphins. Yes, my Miami Dolphins, baby, beat it. The Lions 24-17. And of course, Tua didn't play, Hill didn't play, as well as Waddle didn't play because they're getting ready for the last game. They're going to probably play the whole first half, but they're trying to keep them healthy to start season opener. But right now, the battle of the second quarterback position between Ayers and Wilson, and pretty much both quarterbacks put up some great numbers. Team total points in passing was 26-40 for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now we're going to talk about the individual stats with Aaron holding down, had a 2 touchdown advantage over Wilson, but both of them managed the game perfectly. And that's one thing about Coach McDaniels like is managing the game, not making mistakes, moving the ball down so we can put up points to kick a 3-point field goal or going for the touchdown. So far, there was no interceptions, no turnovers. The offensive line gave up 1 sack for 8-yard loss. That was on Wilson when he was in the game quarterbacking. So the offensive line collapsed on him. So we have to the offensive line of the Dolphins have to do better for protection of that there, where they go ahead and protect the quarterback a little longer because Tua's in and he has a quick release. He's very accurate with the ball. So when Waddle and Hill stretch that field, they're doing that fly straight down for a touchdown. But right now, to come in the game, if I see it, I think Ayers edged out Wilson for the second string position, and Wilson will be the third stringer. But right now, we're gonna see the last of the game. The Coach McDaniel is bringing Tua for a couple of series of the first quarter, and let these two quarterback Wilson and Ayers hash it out. Because right now they put up great numbers, and to go ahead on and do 26-40 for 259 yards, that's almost 300 yards of passing, and they can muscle up 3 touchdowns. So they pretty much moving the ball downfield. So it's not an issue with that. And even though we had the second string and the third string offensive linemen, they did pretty good with protecting the quarterbacks. But overall, our running game was not pretty good. I love Ollie Gordon the second because he has to come in now, and the workhorse is on him. Uh, Samkin, Boone, and Wright. Those are your backups through K. When he step out, we know Wright gonna step in, but I think Ollie Gordon really pushed Jalen Wright down to the third string running back. And of course, we're gonna have a fourth string running back, and I see Samkin coming in for the injured running back that we had against the Chicago game. He had a neck injury. He's doing good. He had surgery. Surgery was great. Now he's going through rehab. Will he come back and play? I don't know. But I will keep you posted on that there. But right now, Ollie Gordon looks like he's holding down the number 2 spot of that backfield behind Kane because he had 10 carries of 50 yards. Aaron Sampson had 2 carries of 32 yards. Mike Boone had 3 carries for 13 yards. And Jalen Wright had 4 carries for 3 yards. Now, we know Jalen Wright's a workhorse, but he has not really proved that he could be that number 2 elevated running back behind Kane. So I reckon that the Ollie Gordon the second is holding it down, number 31. So he might just go ahead on and shift lanes behind Kane as both of them share the backfield together because you bring in more of a powerhouse runner. With Kane, he loves to run through the hashes, but Kane has speed to break and get out the outside. Ollie Gordon has speed, power, and he will run you over. And that's one thing Mike Daniels like about number 31 is that he could go ahead and run you over and pick up more yards after the carry. So yes, Gordon is going to lock down that second spot in the backfield, and Jalen Wright would be that number 3. The receiving core is pretty decent because right now, by me watching the game and understanding what I was looking at, I like Reese Jr. to be that slot receiver, or he could go ahead and stretch it down the field with Waddle and Hill because he has 6 receptions for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. So if you, the third string, fourth string wide receiver, working your way up to be on that starting lineup next to, you can line up on the side of Waddle and Hill. I mean, he's doing good, but you also got pressure from Deke Eskridge. He had 3 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown. Tanner Connor has 6 receptions for 48 yards. Taj Washington had 4 receptions for 33 yards. A.J. Henry had 2 receptions for 16 yards. And Chris McKay had 1 reception for 13 yards, and Andrew Armstrong 1 for 12. Now, the ones that had low yardage, y'all be on the practice squads just in case we have any injuries. Y'all be set to come in. But right now, the receiving core is strong because they put up 26 receptions for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns. The longest they had was 27 yards, where Eskridge had that 1 reception for 27 yards. So, yes, that was their longest. They was targeted 40 times, so they had 40 targets. So, yes, the offensive line is giving the quarterback time to allow the quarterback to survey the field to go ahead and hit multiple targets and make the receiving core a threat. That means you have to back off of them because they bring in speed. They let you know they can run their routes precise, and they can stretch the field. Now, let's go to the team stats. And we're just going to go play by play. We know it's preseason. Just like I said, Zach Wilson was the man. He had 15 or 23 or 151. But Ears had also, he did have some good numbers. He had 2 touchdowns. Ollie Gordon had 10 carries for 50 yards. Weiss Jr. had 6 receptions for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Team stats, Dolphins had 356 total yards. They had 1 turnover, and they had 21 first downs. On Detroit side, they had 274 total yards, 1 turnover, and 18 first down. Time of possession goes the Dolphins' way, as they had 30 minutes and 19 to Detroit 29 minutes and 41. Now, that's all I have for Let's Talk Sports with your host, Ron Hill, the one and only, and I'll be back next week as the Dolphins close out with their third and last preseason game, WNBA, because they got a whole lot of good matchup going on for this week, and I will keep you posted what's going on in WWE. Thank y'all. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.